Welcome to EUPrivacyForAll, Session 20 on GDPR, Article 16, the right to rectification. Negotiations regarding the right to rectification on Article 16 made really clear that EU Council maintained the right to rectification in Article 16, adding without undue delay and other provisions regarding the purposes for which data were processed, but European Parliament integrated those provisions in the following article. The key provision, Article 16, lays down that the data subject has the right to obtain from the controller, without undue delay, as suggested by EU Council, the rectification of personal data concerning him or her, which are inaccurate. Having regard to the purposes for which data were processed, the data subject shall also have the right to obtain completion of incomplete personal data, including by means of providing a supplementary statement. This is new and shall be precised. Article 17b on notification obligation regarding rectification, erasure or restriction also adds on the controller the obligation to communicate any rectification to each recipient to whom the data have been disclosed, unless this proves impossible or involves disproportionate effort. He shall also inform the data subject. Other provisions in GDPR are the fact that Member States can lay down restrictions, specifications and derogations. And once again, that the right to rectification gives rise to an obligation to the controller to ensure fair and transparent processing. Recital 30 remembers the obligation for the controller to set time limits, which might be useful to avoid having data that are inaccurate. Modalities should be provided also for facilitating the data subject's exercise of their rights, including the right to rectification. Finally, each supervisory authority has the power to order the rectification of data. In the directive, the individual right to rectification is clearly laid down in Article 12b and c. What should accountable data controllers get prepared for? Provide data subject with the right to obtain rectification of personal data that would not be accurate anymore, without undue delay. Then a right to obtain completion of incomplete personal data, including providing a supplementary necessary statement to add information missing. Ensure fair information of data subjects. Set time limits for data retention in order to avoid inaccuracy. Facilitate the exercise of data subjects' rights. Once again, communicate any rectification to each recipient to whom the data have been disclosed, unless this proves impossible or involves disproportionate efforts. The controller shall also inform the data subject about those recipients if the data subject requests this. Bear in mind that Member States can provide restrictions, derogations or specifications. And finally, anticipate the fact that each supervisory authority has the powers to order the rectification of data. What will be interesting is knowing more about the supplementary statement referred to in the provisions of Article 16, EDPB guidance on undue delay, and what proves impossible or involves disproportionate efforts.